looked like 3 warm-up exercises, 5 stretches, some chit-chatting in between, and a lot of shaking out and getting loose. My name is Ken, and we're here to practice consistency every single day to make a little bit of progress, to get better at our things, to make hard things a little bit difficult with fun times, good vibes, community, and hopefully that means a whole bunch of us will make progress. A whole bunch of us will make a whole bunch of progress together. Cool. Okay. Whew. We're going to start with some warm-up exercises. The first thing that we're going to do is called the hip cars. Hip cars look a little bit like this. They're all about using your muscles to move as much as possible. In this case, we're going to start with the high knee. We're going to open up that hip directly to the side. Rotate the leg so that the ankle and the knee are as high as possible. Bring the leg down and back so that your hamstrings are flexed, your glutes are flexed. You're feeling the stretch in the front of your leg. And that is 1 rep. Let's do 10 of those. High knee, open, ankle, down and back. High knee, open, ankle, down and back. High knee, open, ankle, down and back. Up, super off balance. High knee, open, ankle, down and back. High knee, open, ankle, down and back. That's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Whew. We got one leg done. Let's continue to the other leg. We're going to walk it through again real quick in case people are just joining in. We're doing hip cars, and they look like this. We're going to lift this knee as high as possible using your muscles. We're going to open up to the side, keep that knee high as possible using just your muscles. We're going to rotate this leg so that the ankle and the knee are as high as possible. You might notice my whole body is starting to lean sideways because I'm trying really hard to lift this leg up. And one of the easiest ways is to shift my whole body. But I want you to try to keep this upper body relatively straight. All right, I want you to contract these muscles in the hip to do the lifting. It's going to be hard. And usually we don't have to do it for that long. From here, bring the leg down and back. Flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes. Really focus on pulling the leg back with those muscles. And that is 1 rep. Let's do our 10 and go into the next section. High knee, open, ankle, down and back. 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 I think that's 3, maybe 4. 5, 6, 7, knee, open, ankle, down and back. 8, 9, last one, 10. Whew. We just did 10 hip cars on the left and the right leg. And now we're going to go in reverse. A lot of the time, all the movements are the exact same. I'm adjusting a phone right here that's slipping out of this holder. All the movements are the exact same. But when you start going backwards, this is newer to you, people start getting confused. So at least I got confused a lot. So I assume I'm relatively normal and this happens. So let's walk it through. We're going to start by lifting this leg behind us. This back knee should be behind the straightened legs knee. We want to flex the hamstrings. We want to flex the glutes and try to keep the front of the body relatively straight. If we end up like this, it's not very much different from this. Cool? All right, we're here. We're going to lift directly to the side. We're back into that same position. But from here, I want you to think of it as like a whoosh, a kick, because you're lifting your leg back and then you're sort of kicking. I don't think kicking has anything to do with what we're doing. I don't think you generate any power by going backwards and then whipping it around. But if you do it nice and slow, it looks really cool. It looks like you're doing a flying kick. Anyways, we don't need to talk more about my childhood dreams. Lift that knee, lift the ankle as high as possible. From here, rotate the leg, keep that knee high, and finally bring the knee from the side to the front. I know I did a lot of twisting and turning, trying to show off different angles, and it's really confusing, but I hope you already know most of the positions, so you know what I'm talking about. I'm going to face the front now. We're going to do our 10 reps going backwards, and then we'll move on to the last leg. Bring the leg back, side, ankle, forward, 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 back, side, ankle, forward. I believe we have done more than 10 reps. I completely lost count. Just went with the went with the vibes for a little bit. Let's continue on the other side. Back, side, ankle, forward, back, side, ankle, forward, back, side, ankle, forward, back, side, ankle, forward. I think that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Whew. All right, shake it out, relax, let loose. I'm gonna come over to check the chat real quick. Lulu, welcome back. It's good to see you. Jamie followed live. Welcome, Jamie. The food hacker also followed live. Welcome. Jennifer sent a bunch of what is happening. Thank you for setting those things. What am I drinking? I'm having coffee. And Sheena says, oh, Sheena brought somebody to life. She says, Esha, glad you came tonight. Thank you for sending people my way. I hope you're having fun. And I hope you're getting a little bit of exercise, feeling good about your hips. Although you probably don't feel that good because your hips are probably really tired now. Chels 23 says, just did those. My right was more difficult than my left. That is pretty normal. Most people have a strong side and a weak side. It's more obvious in the muscles they use more often. For example, if you jump off of one leg, maybe your right quad, your right calf is a little bit stronger than the left side, left leg, left quad, left calf. It's pretty similar. If you have any activity that you tend to hang out and lean onto one side more than the other, when you're just chilling, different muscles get stronger than other ones. So that should be normal. And one of the cool things that you can do to help alleviate those imbalances is exactly what we're doing, slowly controlling and trying your best to lift your leg as high as possible and get through that full range of motion. Okay, I think I've covered most of the chat. So let's, I got a good evening, and 8 new messages came in right after. Of course it did. And I'm pretty sure those are all auto messages, so we can move on. Steph asks, when do you go live? Good evening. I go live at 9 p.m. Eastern every single day. I'm currently traveling, so I'm in a totally different time zone, different part of the world, and that is why I am having coffee at 9 p.m. Eastern. 9 p.m. Eastern covers like Vermont down to Florida. And that would mean it's 6 p.m. in Pacific, which covers Washington down to California. Okay, so you're somewhere in between, and somewhere between those times. Okay, where are we at? We just finished the first warm-up exercise. Let's get into the second warm-up exercise, and that is the elephant walk. The elephant walk looks a little bit like this. We'll bring our belly buttons down towards the ground, our chest down towards the ground, feeling the hamstrings tighten up. It's not super important where you are initially. The goal is just to get into a position where your hamstrings are starting to tighten up. And once they are getting a little bit stiff. They're a little bit tight. You don't have to do anything crazy. We're not doing wild, like jammy, smashy style movements. We're just gonna shift our weight. Bend one knee at a time. Take a couple of deep breaths. Try to bring the belly button down to the ground. And repeat for, I don't know, 20, 25, 30 seconds. Get the hamstrings nice and warm. Sort of grind them almost through that knee bend to knee straight. Try to bring your belly button down to the ground a little bit at a time. And once you've hung out here for a little bit, we're going to add some cool stuff to it. One, it's a little bit hard to notice, but on your straightened leg, I want you to sort of pop your hip out a little bit. So it's easier to focus on feeling the stretch here in this side glute, this butt muscle. And then when you switch, do the same thing on the other side, just to get a bonus little itty bitty stretch in addition to the hamstring. After that, we're going to do some thoracic rotation, which just means we're going to rotate our upper backs. How we're going to do that looks a little bit like this. We're going to get back into that one leg bent position, one leg straight position, and we're going to grab the straight leg with our bent leg's hand. That didn't make any sense. My left leg is bent, my right leg is straight. I'm taking my left hand to grab my right leg, and I'm using it to help me twist my back. So now my chest is pointing this way. I'm sticking my arms up directly into the air behind me. I'm looking at those fingers, and I'm coming back down. Same thing on the other side. My right knee is bent. My left knee is straight. I'm taking my right hand, grabbing my left knee, and I'm pushing, 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 and down. Okay, that is one rep. That thoracic rotation is really good for our upper backs. It's really good for our shoulders to get engaged. It's good for our fingertips to start getting warmed up as well. And with that twisting, maybe your back will feel a little bit better too. Okay, let's do a couple more of those. But don't forget, we're still doing hamstring related stuff. So try your best to, once you get into that reached back position, to bring your belly button down to the ground and get a little bit of hamstring stretch at the same time. Because if you get the hamstring stretch, thoracic rotation is still really good for you. But we have to warm up and do stuff for side splits at the same time. All right. Once you've done a couple of those, feeling a little bit better, feeling a little warmed up, let's get into warm-up exercise number 3, the Cossack switch. Whew, okay. I'm gonna come check the chat real quick to see if there's anything to address. We have a whole bunch of AI summaries. We have a whole bunch of people following. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh, more AI summaries. Let's see. Hello, I spy with my little eye some yoga blocks. Yes, indeed. Over here, we have some yoga blocks. I found a decathlon yesterday. If you don't know, because I think a lot of you are coming in from the US, the decathlon is like one of the coolest sporting goods stores. It's like a Modell's or a Dick's Sporting Goods that everything pretty much is owned by Decathlon's like in-store brand. So they make everything and it's relatively affordable. For example, I went to a retail store and I bought 2 yoga blocks and the total was like 11 bucks. So it was sick. Okay, good stretch for the back for sure. Felt it more as I did more sets. Yes, especially because you're really warming up and you're able to push deeper into the stretch as you do more of them. And you're always going to feel the tension a little bit more. Okay, we just finished 2 of our 3. Let's get right back into our third. The third warm-up exercise, I'm going to get rid of these because it's going to smash my ankle into it. The third warm-up exercise is the Cossack switch. And it looks a little bit like this. we're dropping down to one side, trying to make sure we feel the stretch in the Achilles tendon in the calf back here of this leg. We're trying to make sure that we feel the pressure in the front of the ankle. We're trying to feel the pressure here in that hip. I want your knees to travel in the same line as your toes are pointing. And I want them to stay there the whole time. So that might mean you're here, you're there. This whole leg can rotate. The toes, the foot can point almost directly in front, and the knees should still be in the same direction as your toes. You can open up the hip, go really far out, and the knees should be in the same direction as the toes. You can experiment with that. You can experiment with how much you want to open your hips, how comfortable you are in each of these positions. They're all slightly different. They require a different amount of mobility in slightly different muscles for you to get into. So play with it, see what makes you comfortable, what makes you uncomfortable, and try to push those boundaries just a little bit. Cool. All right. Now that we're here, just hang out, relax, try your best to keep your heel on the ground if you can. And while we're hanging out, let's talk about the other leg. Over here, your heel is down, your toes are up, and your knees are pointing up. Cool? What we're going to do is just acknowledge that it's happening and chill here for a little bit longer because we're waiting for these muscles in this leg to relax a little bit. I usually spend some time saying this is called leg external rotation and we need it for the side splits. It's not super important to cover. I spent some time doing it on the other side, so we'll just continue. Let's switch over to the other side. You got lots of different ways to get there. I recommend you put your hands down for this first one because most people, you're going to need a little bit of support, a little bit of love from gravity and the ground so that you can get into this position comfortably. Once you come over to the other side, you might notice that your left and right side have different amounts of flexibility. That's also totally normal. I want you to try your best to lean in so that your knees are traveling the same direction as your toes. Could be here, could be somewhere in the middle. And I want you to feel the pressure in the front of that Achilles, or sorry, in the front of the ankle. I want you to feel the stretch in the Achilles and the calf. And I want you to feel a little pressure in that left hip. I'm just gonna hang out, relax for a little bit. This is our warm up. I don't expect you to be super explosive and jumpy and like intensely ready to do stuff. So we're gonna take our time, get used to the position, and then pick up the intensity from here. Whew. So same thing on the other side. The heel is down, the toes are up, and the knees are up. On this side, the working leg that's getting tired, I'm sure, your heel can come up if it helps you. If you're struggling with balance, try to keep your heel down because your foot fully down helps you stay a little bit more stable. If that's stability isn't your issue, you want to really work on leaning into it, feeling that tension in the hip, feeling the tension in the ankle, you can have your heel come up off the ground just a little bit. Cool? All right. Whew. Let's talk about moving from side to side because so far we're just getting the position ready. Now we're going to do the hard work. the warming up part is starting. What I want you to do is I want you to get comfortable in this position for a little bit, right? We've been doing that. And then I want you to move from side to side. So we're doing a little bit of strengthening work in between getting into this stretched out position. This leg is basically already doing a side split. And now we're doing a very controlled side split on one side at a time, getting into this deep squat position at the same time. All right. You can use your hands to help come over to the other side, make it a little bit easier. If you're a little bit stronger, you have good range of mobility, you can try to lift your chest up, stick your arms out in front of you, and shift from side to side. I'm still noticing that I'm a little bit sick, so I'm still a little bit more off balance than I was expecting to be today. And other options. And my words are so lost this morning. Okay. Other options for getting across to the other side are if these are hurting your knees a little bit, you can come up halfway, come across, and then try to gently sit back down into this stretched position. Alternatively, you can come all the way up and then all the way down. So you focus on just descending into this one leg where the knees and the toes are pointing in the same direction, hanging out, chilling, having the ankle up, the heel down, toes up, knees up on this side. Okay, packed lots of options. You just need to do 5 or 10. Get the legs, the hips warmed up. If you're doing the variation where your arms are extended out in front of you to help counterbalance, you get a little bit of a shoulder exercise for holding your arms up in front of you. And you're probably getting a little bit in the low back, trying to help you balance. And you're leaning forward to help counterbalance. Okay, that's it. I hope you've done a whole bunch of those. Hope you're feeling warmed up. Hope you're not as out of breath as I am, because I have to talk a lot. And okay, let's get excited about some hamstring stretches. We're done with our warm-ups, and now we're moving on into some stretches. We're going to do 5 stretches. We're going to hold them for 30 seconds each, and then we're going to move right on. Everything that we do at this point is to pre-stretch some of the muscles that we're going to rely on when we do the actual side split stretch, so that we're giving a little bit of focused attention so you know how each of those different stretches are supposed to feel. And then when you get into the side splits, you can go, oh, okay, I know what's getting stretched there. I know what's going on here. All these feelings are normal-ish. For the hamstring stretch, I recommend you go grab a cushion. Grab something soft for you to put under your knee. And that's because we're doing a hamstring stretch that looks like this. We drop into one knee, extending one leg, leaning forward, folding and stretching the hamstring and the straightened leg. It's a good stretch because it's easy to control. You can't fall anywhere. Gravity's helping you out. And you get to be very stable by being on the ground. So, I hope you found something to steal, grab, pillage, steal your pet's bed. It's always a lovely way to get them really excited about your stretch. And that makes it that much more enjoyable. Okay. When you're ready, let's drop your knee down onto that cushion. I want you to extend the leg that you're ready to stretch out in front of you. It doesn't have to be crazy. You don't have to go like all out. You don't have to extend so far that your hips rotate and you can see the hips spun out from the side. From the side, I want you to imagine that your hips, the two front protruding parts of the hips, are in the same line, right? So from that camera angle that you're looking at me at, you can't see my right hip because my right hip is right behind my left hip. Cool? When you have that, and your leg is still pointed in front of you, I want you to bring your belly button down to the ground. You're going to feel the hamstrings tighten up immediately. It's going to be uncomfortable. And all I want you to do is take a nice big deep breath in. Then try to get into a deeper stretch just a little bit while relaxing, while exhaling. Try that again. Inhale. Exhale. Get deeper. All right. Once you've done that like 2 or 3 times, you're probably not going to get much deeper. Let's work on the stretch. Try to bring your belly button down to the thigh. If you want to imagine bringing your belly button down to the ground, that also works. And we're holding this for 30 seconds. Apply some steady pressure. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20. If you have a little bit of knee pain, you can always bend your knee a little bit, bring your chest down, and then your stretch feels like you're trying to extend your leg instead of the variation that we were just doing. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, almost there, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, come on up. And we'll switch to the other side. Same thing. Try to square up the hips so that from the side, from looking at me over there, you can't see the hip behind. Cool? a little bit is not a big deal, but if you're going, for example, into kind of a front split sort of situation, and this hip that's behind the front hip, and what I mean is from the angle that you're seeing it, then it opens up like this. That is not what we want. Cool. Pull that hip in, square it up, and let's continue. Oh, we're back here. Belly button's down towards the thighs. Hamstrings are tightening up. They're screaming at you. They're not happy. Try to take some nice big deep breaths in. Exhale slowly and get into a deeper stretch. One more time. In and exhale. Okay, the stretch is super intense, and that's it. 30 seconds. Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26. Once again, you can slightly bend your knee if you need to, because the knee is not necessary. It's not necessary for the knee to be super uncomfortable for the hamstrings to get stretched. 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, come on up out of that hamstring stretch. That pillow that we were just using, get rid of it. We don't need it anymore. Don't throw it too hard. Don't knock over things. I've knocked over mugs and water bottles already, I think, last week. Did not go well. Whew. We just finished our first warm-up exercise. I'm going to pop in, check the chat real quick, and see if there's anything I need to address. Sheena, out here with the support. Tap the screen, share the live when you have time, please. Yes, thank you for the support. I love it. I appreciate it. For these, I could not keep my heels flat, but overall good. Excellent, Chelsea. Is good to hear. You also, for Chelsea, we're going back 2 exercises, so bear with me, everybody. In that Cossack switch position, you don't have to go this deep that your knee goes really far forward. It is probably a little bit more comfortable that way because it's less demanding on your ankle mobility. But if you end up with your knee pretty close to straight above your heel, that is a fine place to start. Okay? If you get all the way into this type of position, sometimes you can really feel the stretch in the Achilles, but sometimes you get so close to so much weight and so high up on your toes that you're not going to feel much of a calf stretch anyway. So this is just a little bit of advice. It'll be really tiring to get into this position because your knee, your quad, this area above the knee is working really hard to keep you stable. If you go a little bit further, it gets a little bit more tiring here in the calf because the calf is trying to keep you stable, and hanging out in those positions are really hard. So at some point, experiment with trying to keep your heel down and figuring out where you can hold it stable for just long enough that you can go from side to side. It doesn't have to be the 30-second hold that we're just hanging out in like we were when we started the live. Oh, when we started the exercise. Let me know if any of that didn't make any sense. I was just spinning stuff off the top of my head, so I might have just said a whole bunch of weird stuff and can't remember. Cool. Okay. Let's get, actually, she might have said something right now. Thanks for the advice. Okay, cool. Ganasti says, I'm so late. That's okay. We're here every day. And you're still here. So, welcome back. All right. Second exercise, we're going to the butterfly. Butterfly looks like this. We bring our feet together, and the stretch goal is here in the groin. What that looks like is we'll bring our knees down into the ground. We're trying to open up those leg muscles. Usually, it is pretty hard, especially if you have tighter hamstrings. You're going to want to lean back, when you're in a seated position. So you're spending a lot of time fighting to stay balanced, and you don't have time to focus on bringing your knees to the ground. So, quick and easy way to fix that problem, so you can focus on the groin stretch, is to use a back wall. Doesn't have to be a wall, but I recommend something nice, sturdy, heavy to lean against. A door would be perfectly fine. This door leads out to a hallway, and when I lean against it, it rattles, and the whole hallway vibrates. So I'm trying not to do that. That's why I'm using this wall right next to the door. Once you're here, your shoulders, head, hips should be basically touching the wall, and that will give you a nice, solid, straight posture, but also gives you something to push against, and we'll need that real soon. Before we continue, I want you to use your outer thigh muscles and your glutes to pull your legs open. You might notice that it's much easier to focus on opening up your groin now that you have something to lean against. And I want you to do that. I want you to use your muscles to pull your knees into position. We use our muscles to pull our knees into position because it helps to make our muscles stronger. It helps to give us more control over the position we want to be in. All right, once you're here, take your hands, apply some steady pressure right below the knee, and you're going to feel pressure in the back of your head and then your shoulders pushing into the wall. And that is exactly what you're feeling. You're feeling the wall help you get into a deeper butterfly position. All right, let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, almost there, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, relax those muscles. Come on up. Try to extend your legs. Try to flop and flap those butterfly wings. And relax. All right. Once your legs are feeling okay and you can stand up again, you don't have to hop, you don't have to jump around, but do a little shake, get loose. We're going to start the next exercise right now. It's called the standing pancake. The standing pancake looks a little bit like this. We're going to open up our legs to a point where it's comfortable. It doesn't have to be super wide, but we also don't want it to hurt at the hips because the goal is to focus on folding forward. Folding forward will actually help reduce some of the pressure in the hips. So if you get to the point where you're slightly uncomfortable here, then you fold forward, it should feel okay. Cool? I am going to take off one of these socks because it is going to kill me. All right. There we go. A little bit more grip. Cool. From here, let us fold forward, bring the belly button down towards the ground, sort of stick the butt a little bit back because that will help you counterbalance when you stick your arms out in front of you. And we're in the standing pancake. That's it. That's the whole position. The goal is to bring the belly button down towards the ground. You're going to feel the stretch on your inner legs. You're going to feel the stretch in your hamstrings, maybe in your low back. And we're going to hang out here for 30 seconds. You ready? Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27. Remember to breathe. Try to bring the belly button down. 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14. If it gets too intense, you can always put your hands down, give yourself a little support. 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh man, all right, come on out of that. Take your time. Your inner thigh muscles are probably freaking out. Your hamstrings are probably unhappy. So give yourself a couple seconds. Do some high knees. Shake, wiggle, just move around. And once your legs are starting to feel normal again, let's talk about it real quick. Keep shaking, keep getting loose. The adductors are the inner thigh muscles, and their job is to pull your leg in. Adductors is spelled ADD, ductors. And so, anytime you do the opposite of what they're designed to do, open them up, they're going to be really happy, really unhappy, excuse me, and they're going to get mad at you. That's what you're feeling right now. The other thing is that hamstring stretch. Your hamstrings connect into your hips, and half of them connect just below the knee. So anytime you fold forward, it doesn't matter if your legs are together, like we do in a typical hamstring stretch, slightly apart, like we were doing in the elephant walk, or completely apart in different hemispheres. If you're folding forward, your hamstrings are involved. They're going to be yelling at you. They're going to be unhappy, and that is why we spend so much time working on them in the elephant walk, in the hamstring stretch, and now the standing pancake. Okay, that is the whole spiel. Let's get into the figure 4 stretch. Putting the socks back on because I'm going to need it for the set splits. And if I forget about them over there for any longer, I'm never going to be able to find them again. So, fourth stretch that we're going to do is called the figure 4 stretch. It's called the figure 4 stretch because we cross our legs over to the opposite knee. So this ankle is here hanging out just below the knee. The goal of this stretch is to bring your leg up to your chest, like so, and feel the stretch out here in this outer side glute butt-ish area. We tried to make sure that you felt it a little bit when we were doing the elephant walk and you were leaning off to one side. It's not exactly the same, but it's kind of the same. Similar. And we had two main ways to do this. We got the pigeon stretch, which will be easy to find on YouTube and yoga circles. Looks a little bit like this. The knee to ankle bone, we want to hit sort of the halfway point between that with the halfway point in our chest. All right, and just fold forward and come down so that you're back in this angle. You're bringing the leg towards your chest. Cool? That's the stretch. Keep your hips low, keep your knees low. This leg back here, if you're unable to fully extend, that's okay. You can have the leg come out sideways. You can still fold and focus on that stretch because what we care about is the stretch in the hip that the leg is bent for. Cool? That is one version of the stretch. We're going to do the figure 4 version, which is lying on, or I'm going to do the figure 4 version, which is lying on our backs. And it looks like this. We're going to lay on our backs. We're going to take that leg, we're going to stretch, we're going to cross it over to the knee of the other leg, reach, throw, and pull everything in nice and slow. Okay, enjoy, get into position, and we're going to do 30 seconds starting right now. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, we're almost done, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. If at any point you got a little sleepy, you're feeling really calm, you probably forgot how intense the stretch is supposed to be. So keep on pulling. Don't forget, don't fall asleep. We got a little bit more to go. Same thing, sorry, switch over to the other side, cross the leg over to the opposite knee, and I hope you're in position because we are going 30 seconds. If you are doing, oh, wow, I'm super tight on this hip. If you are doing the pigeon stretch and the pigeon is feeling really easy for some reason, try to push your ankle away from you in the leg that, you're trying to bring your chest to. And the further away you hold your ankle, the more intense that stretch will be in your hip. Yes, in your hip. All right, I forgot to start counting. I hope you've been going 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, let that stretch go. Lay down, roll over, chill for a second, breathe. Okay. One, you have relaxed from that stretch. Come on up and let's talk side splits. Before we do that, I'm gonna bring my coffee to the phone, check what's going on. Okay, let's see what's up. Chelsea says thanks for the advice. Whole bunch of people have followed. Lovely, welcome everybody. And we have I think that's a smiley face. That is a smiley face. Melissa sent a smiley face. Thank you, Melissa. Okay. All right. We have a whole bunch of people on. Welcome everybody. Sorry, I've been way over there stretching on the ground. I can't see y'all as often as I'd like. We're getting into side splits. I hope you've enjoyed everything we've done so far, because all of it has been to prepare us, warm our bodies up so that we can get into deeper stretches when we are doing stretches, right? That's what the warm up is for. And that warm up is really good for general mobility building. And you can do those warm up exercises at any time to help loosen up your back, to get more comfortable in your hips, to get stronger and more mobile in the hip joint. Cool? We did a couple of stretches. All those stretches are for targeting the muscles that do get used when we do the side splits. And because we focused on them very intentionally, they're probably going to get less intense when we do the actual side splits. But that requires us to get into the side splits soon before all of that stretching wears off. All right, last sip of coffee. Let's do some side splitty stuff. One thing, to help you stay safe, I recommend you stay one step in front of the wall. All right, so 1 foot, that's about 8 to 12 inches in front of the wall. And that is because when you start falling backwards, ooh, there's some construction going on in the building. I hope it's not super loud for you guys. If it is, I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do about it. What we're gonna do is, when you're in a side split position and you suddenly lose balance, you're starting to fall backwards. If there's a wall right behind you, you can fall into the wall and you should be kind of ish safe. I'm not nearly as safe as I would hope to be because I'm wearing socks. I'm trying to get a lot deeper into the side split and my feet have been holding me back, so I was like, I'm gonna wear socks today. But it makes it really hard to demonstrate why the wall helps to keep you safe. So if you are not trying to get super ultra deep into the side splits today and you're just trying to get normal deep into the side splits today, take your socks off and get close to a wall so that the wall can keep you safe. Cool? All right, let's get into the stretches. First off, we're gonna open up those legs as wide as we can. When it starts getting uncomfortable here in the hips, I want you to fold forward, put your hands down, and see if you can continue to go a little bit further. With your hands down, I want you to try to do almost a mini half push-up so that you can make sure your arms are supporting some body weight. When your arms are supporting body weight, it means some of the body weight in your legs, or the body weight that your legs are feeling, is a little bit reduced. What I want you to do with that is externally rotate the legs. What that means is your heels are down, your toes are up, and your knees are up. We talked about this for a second in the Cossack switches at the beginning in the warm-up, but it's finally making a reappearance here. This rotates your leg bone out of the way so that it can slide down into that thigh and give you some space to get into this side split position. I want you to take your hands, I'm pretty sure they're here if you had followed my instructions, and walk them back towards your hips. And that will bring as much weight back right over your legs as possible. Once you are here, you're probably stuck. But if you feel like you can give it another go, try to wiggle from side to side so you can get a little bit deeper into the stretch. And once you can't move anymore, you're totally stuck, go ahead and start our 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, almost done. 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, crawl those push-up hands forward, pull your legs in. Oh, man. Kneel if you need to. Take a couple seconds to breathe. And come on up back into standing when you can. What we just did was contract all those leg muscles, force them to get super tight. So we're going to try and undo that with some shaking, with some forced relaxation. What I recommend is kicking, shaking, flopping, wiggling, getting loose. If your legs can flop around like this, the muscles that are attached to all the things that are shaking and wiggling and flopping are loose as well. So take a couple seconds, shake, 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 wiggle, 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 help those muscles relax. And once your legs are starting to feel relatively normal, let's do a couple of quick checks to make sure our joints are working properly. We'll start with some hip circles. Oh. And my low back seems to be quite tight today. I did notice that my right hip in the figure 4 was quite tight compared to my left hip. So maybe that has something to do with it. Whew. Next, let us do some high knees. Real quick, you don't have to do that many. Just making sure that all the joints are feeling all right. We're going to do some mini squats here, just to put a little pressure in the knees, put a little pressure into the ankles, come up onto the toes if you're strong enough and if your balance is good. If everything feels good, then we're pretty much ready to get right into round 2 of the side splits. I need to do some cardiac rehab exercises, but definitely not this. Okay, go on. Work on that cardio, take care of yourself, and do what you gotta do. All right, I got a question on YouTube that says, can I do King Von stretch? I have no idea what that stretch is. So send me a link and I'll check it out. We're going to get back into round 2 of the side splits. But before we do, if you're having fun, if you learn something, if you're stretching, you're doing exercise, and you're having a good time, make sure to hit follow, hit subscribe, get notified. We do this every single day to practice consistency. It's at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. And part of the goal of building the consistency is helping you stay consistent, helping me stay consistent. Because clearly I don't have the side splits. I'm working on them. I bought yoga blocks to help speed up the progress a little bit. And I hope you keep coming back, because when you keep coming back, and I'm still here inevitably, you guys build a little bit of relationship in the comments, get to know each other, and it makes it much more fun, much easier to do this hard thing, sitting on the floor suffering for a whole bunch of minutes every single day. Cool? Let's get into round 2 of the side splits. I feel like I've rushed the explanation in that first one, so I'm going to do a little bit better of a job this time. Let's open up the legs nice and wide. Fold at the hips, put your hands down. Externally rotate the legs, which means your heels are down, your toes are pointed up, and your knees are pointed up. Cool? From here, walk those hands. Ooh, earbud is falling out. One sec. Walk those hands back towards your hips and put your body weight back right over your hips. Once you're in position, try to do a little wiggle from side to side. See if you can break that last little bit of friction and help yourself get into a deeper stretch. Imagine pushing your pelvis into the ground, maybe flex your glutes a little bit, See if that helps. And once you cannot get any deeper, let's go. 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, come on up out of that stretch. Oh, pull your legs in, crawl your arms forward, and if you need to, stay in a kneeling position. Give yourself a couple of seconds to relax. Breathe. All right, let's get back into standing and start shaking it out. Shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Noodles, 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 noodles. Spaghetti, 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 spaghetti. Dance. Just relax the leg. Make sure they're not confused and freaking out. All right. Once your legs are more or less relaxed, let's do our quick checks. Hip circles. Oof. If there's anything that feels a little tender, feels a little sore, take your time, give it some light massage, take care of it, and then high knees, mini squats. Make sure everything is working, everything is lined up. Your knees, your ankles come up onto those toes. And if those checks are all good, let's come back and do a little bit more relaxing. Shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Shake, shake, shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. We're trying our best to rest in between these stretches so that your body forgets as much of that trauma that you just put it through as possible. So when you get into the next one, it doesn't freak out more intensely than before. Cool? All right. All right. I think we're almost ready for round 3. I'm going to check the comments real quick and see if there's anything else I need to address. I don't think so. So I think it's time. Let's go. Side split, number 3, third and last one. Let's get into position. Once again, let's get close to that wall. I recommend one step in front, maybe a little closer if you're worried. If you're really deep in the side split already, for example, maybe you want to be even closer. Maybe your butt is brushing against the wall the whole entire time as you're coming down, just to give yourself a little bit of stability. That's totally okay. All right, let's get back into that open leg position. When you start feeling the pressure in the hips, fold forward, put your hands down. With some of that weight in your hands, it'll be easier to externally rotate the legs, which means your toes are pointing up, your heels are down, and your knees are pointing up on both legs. And that should make it a little bit easier for you to sit into a deep side split position. Walk your hands back towards your hips. It'll put more of that body weight right above your legs, helping you get into a deeper stretch. And once you cannot go any deeper, once it starts to get a little bit painful, I want you to try a tiny wiggle from side to side so you can break that last little bit of friction holding your feet back. And let's go. 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, crawl forward, bring your arms, pull your legs in, kneel if you need to, and slowly come back into standing. We're going to do one more round of relaxation, one more set of checks, and then we will be done for today. All right, shake those legs out. Shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Spaghetti, noodles, pasta. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Let the legs relax. Kick them out. Bend them. Flop them around. Play some hacky sack. Just make them move. All right. Once your legs are almost-ish kind of normal, let's do our quick checks. Hip circles. Yeesh. My hips are tight, but nothing is painful. So let's continue. High knees. Those feel good. And then we're going to do our mini squats. The knees feel good. The ankles feel good. The toes are working. And with that, we are all done. All right. I'm going to get my butt back here and check what's going on with the live. Christina says, right hip pain, any advice? Where is, in which part? Is it that you're doing the side split and you have right hip pain, or are you having right hip pain just in general? Because I don't know when you came in or what you've seen. Other than that question, I think there have not been any other questions. So, the right glute hip. Yes, I understand you want this area. Are you having problems with it when we do the side split? Haven't tried this, but will. Thank you. So, just in general, the right glute slash hip area. I don't know the state of your hip condition, so this will be very vague advice. And the best thing I think you can do for it is start strengthening. Because one of the issues that causes hip pain to slowly happen over time, but has long term been happening to you, is some of the muscles in your hips have been getting weak, and it's causing it to rub in ways that maybe is not so optimal for it, and it's been rubbing for so long that you are now experiencing that weakness as pain. So the right hip glute, it might be worth a shot to very gently work on the hip cars that we start this training with. And it looks, a really gentle version might look like this. In the right hip up here, if you focus on lifting the leg to the side, nice and slow, nice and gentle, these muscles will start contracting here. If you lift back and to the right, stuff near the glutes will start strengthening over there. And that might be a little bit of help. Can I give anything more specific than that? No, I think that's probably all I got. In general, I think strengthening your weaker potential muscles is the best shot for you to have good muscle built around the hip. And those muscles, because there's so many attached to your hip, because all your leg muscles eventually have to connect into your hip at some point, right? Whether it's from something in your calf, that calf is connecting up into your thigh, and then your thigh is connecting into your hip. Like, it's like a second degree relationship to directly in the hip. Everything relies on your hips at some point or another. And the stronger you have the muscles built around it, the stronger they can work for you, so that maybe your bones don't spend as much time smashed into each other. I think that's all I can say about that topic. So I hope you start training, do a little bit of light strength training to start, and then really focus on the aspects and the values of strength training so that you can strengthen those muscles as fast as possible. In the beginning, I think you want to focus on understanding what range of motion, what parts of your hips like work, right? If you're struggling with this type of movement, then take it nice and slow, take it nice and gentle, work on that movement. But as soon as you know what you're able to do, I want you to start focusing on the strength training aspect. typically that is trying to push a really heavy weight for you, uh, and getting stronger in that position as soon as possible. Once you're stronger, it'll give you a whole bunch more confidence, and you can figure out if that strength is going to make a difference for you. If you're noticing that your symptoms are getting a little bit better, then that's the direction you need to keep going in. Cool? All right. If your symptoms get worse and they stay worse, stop. Don't do that. Go find a better expert, because that's not me. Okay. Um. Cool. All right. Let's see. Thank you for the hearts. I appreciate it, Christina. Okay. That's it. I think we are all wrapped up for today, and we are running a whole hour in already. So let's follow up with some light summary. If you're still here and you have somehow no idea what I do a live side splits hip mobility sort of show every single day to practice consistency, both for me and for you. And my goal is to bring nice vibes, good information to the internet so that you can practice consistency, so that we can have a whole bunch of people doing hard things like side splits on the floor, suffering there, and make it a little bit more fun, make it a little bit easier to do. We do this every single day to practice consistency, to build a little bit of community. And hopefully that community, as you can see, engages in the chat, gets to know each other, asks questions, gets involved, and supports each other. That makes it a lot easier to do hard things. And that is my goal for the life, to help a whole bunch of people do hard things together, make it easier to do, make it more fun to do, and help us all get better at the thing. In this case, it's side splits. Cool. I hope you had fun. I hope you had good stretching. I hope you feel warm. I hope you're ready for bed if you are on the East Coast. And that's it from me. I hope to see you tomorrow, because I'll be here, same time, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, somewhere in between if you're somewhere between. And that's it. Goodbye. All right. Closing the chat. Closing the live. Same here on